During Donald Trump's presidency, trade tensions rose between the US and the European Union. As part of those disputes, tariffs were placed on several goods, including Scotch whisky. This made UK exports more expensive in the US, hurting Scottish distilleries. The so-called whiskey deal refers to efforts to remove tariffs and restore smoother trade between the US and UK. After Trump's presidency, both sides worked toward easing these tariffs, helping whiskey producers recover. Anand Ambani proposed moving around 80 hippos to India instead of killing them. This is called translocation. He suggested housing them in his wildlife rescue center in Gujarat. Vantara already cares for thousands of rescued animals and has large facilities. The Colombian government wants to protect native wildlife, control invasive species. Hippos have increased to nearly 200 plus. Damaged ecosystems. Become dangerous to locals. Even in 2026, with all the talk about renewable energy, coal remains one of the biggest sources of electricity worldwide. Coal generates more electricity than wind and solar because it is more reliable. Coal plants can run 24 hours a day, while wind and solar depend on weather. Coal also has high energy content, so it produces a large amount of electricity from a small amount of fuel. Countries like India, China, and the United States use coal widely because it is easily available. Wind energy is clean and renewable, but it cannot always produce electricity. If there is no wind, there is no power. That is why coal is still used more. Back in 2009, during the Great Recession, millions of Americans faced job losses, financial instability, and uncertainty about the future. Naturally, many people delayed having children. You might expect birth rates to recover once the economy improved, but that hasn't really happened. In fact, U.S. birth rates have stayed lower than pre-2009 levels for over a decade. Rising cost of living, especially housing and childcare. More people focusing on education and careers first. Job instability and student debt. People marrying later. A lower birth rate can have long-term effects, like a shrinking workforce and pressure on social systems such as Social Security and healthcare. Every year on May Day, people celebrate by dancing around a tall, decorated pole called a maypole. But why? A maypole is a tall wooden pole decorated with bright ribbons and flowers. People hold the ribbons and dance around the pole in patterns. Today, maypole dancing is still performed in schools and festivals. It reminds people of tradition, joy, and the beauty of nature. So, the maypole dance is not just fun, it is a celebration of life, spring, and togetherness.